Thanks a lot. Matthew Lee, Inner City Press. I have a question about, well, I'll follow up on that one and then have a question. Just on the issue of the European, increased participation by donor countries in peacekeeping. Seems like for the French force in Mali, Germans and Slovakians are coming in, but they're not serving, I don't think, and you could correct me, in UN peacekeeping. They may be serving alongside it as part of an EU training mission. You have the same thing in Cote d'Ivoire with Force Licon, you have the same thing in CAR with Sengaris. Some people talk about a kind of a two-tier system. What's the purpose, I guess, of having these separate, better resourced, better protected European peacekeepers alongside UN peacekeepers? And then I wanted to ask, if possible, for an update on the sexual abuse allegations in Central African Republic, where first the Sengaris force...
One question.
Okay, but if there is an update, there's a lot of curiosity about what has happened. Thank you.
Any of you would like to... I think there's been directed there, but if you have a thought first, go ahead.
Oh, sure. Right. Sengaris is essentially... it's pretty close to a counterinsurgency operation, and that has no business engaging in political dialogue and development and policing, which is what the UN is doing, and up until recently really quite successfully.
Thank you. In a way, the two questions are linked somewhat. First, of course, the P5, there is the very interesting case of the Republic of China. I was an ambassador to that country, so I follow that closely. They have been on sort of curve where they have improved, increased their contribution, both in terms of quantity and in terms of specialty. For the first time, we now have fully deployed in South Sudan an infantry battalion from China, and they have now offered, and we're going to deploy them soon, helicopters, and not yet quite attack helicopters, but that I think is going to come. When I last visited China, actually the Chief of Staff of the Army offered me a model of the latest tactical helicopter that China has developed. So we'll see. For other members of the P5, well, maybe a special case of the country I know best, which of course has a significant contribution in Lebanon, so that makes a bit of a difference with the other permanent members. But you see, there is this concept that I wouldn't call a two-tier system. It's a concept simply that in certain situations, one particular country is in a position and maybe feels the urge to act quickly. Remember when Mali was being taken over by the people from Al-Qaeda? Well, France acted in 24 hours, to stop the columns of ACMI which were driving down to Bamako. The same can be said about the British in Sierra Leone a few years ago, They had the opportunity to come in, and usually they preferred to work, even though under a mandate of the Security Council, with their own command and control structures. That is for historic reasons, I suppose. But it doesn't mean that there is not a lot of coordination on the ground. In Central African Republic, Sengaris and MINUSCA work really hand in hand. It's not joint operations, but it's certainly very, very broadly coordinated and based also on a lot of exchange of information. When the Pope visited CAR just a week ago, there was even more coordination and cooperation than usual. And I must say we are very happy that the Holy Father did pay this visit. This is a very important signal, towards reconciliation between the communities, as we are soon going to be in the election period. So I think division of labor, de facto, the European Union is handling the training of the Malian army, probably will look into the training of the FACA, the Central African Army, in stride. All this, I think, at the end of the day, there's a place for everyone, and a role for everyone, and this is the way it's been happening in recent years.
In the second row.